How do you evolve the futuristic designs of your models?
Well, usually I just start doodling on a pad, and whatever happens, that's usually what we get in the time. Sometimes we have to dress them up a bit.
What limits do you put on probability?
Well, there aren't any limits as far as we're concerned. We try anything.
If you ask me, would I name one person that was a genius, in the true sense, it was Derek Meddings.
We were never short of fireworks on fireworks.
Loved petrol jelly.
Without his effects, I don't think the programmes that were made would have been half as popular as they were.
Anything you put in front of Derek he could do, or he'd get round it, or he'd find somebody who did know how to get round it.
As much as we could, we were bringing big film techniques to the little screen.
The kind of special effects that he was doing weren't being done on a television scale. You know, what did you have? You had Doctor Who, but they were like held together with string. Any special effects they did, they weren't clever and they weren't classy.
Backstage, there's a vast empire of scenic design and model making. Everything is custom designed and built to scale. Houses, spaceports, Thunderbird craft, vehicles down to guns and watches.
The secret of all our models was they were dirted down, like aeroplanes are, with streaks of grease and exhaust burns and cracked glasses on spotlights and so on.
I think if you look at some of the opening shots of Thunderbirds, where we zoom back from, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the numbers are only about 2 or 3 centimetres high on those models, and yet the panelling work around those numbers has to show as realistic, not just a piece of plastic or wood.
And it was all that level of detailing and the lettering, the little no-step warning signs and things of that nature, which did add a sort of a whole veneer of complexity and reality to our models, which I think was missing from a lot of, at that time, even mainstream film models.
I used to go to the toy shops and buy all these plastic kits, and they would buy them not to make up an aeroplane, but to use all the pieces.
You could go down to Woolworths and you'd come out with a lot of plastic boxes, beach balls, salt and pepper sets, anything really that we thought might be useful. And you would use these as the basis of your model, and then you would detail on top of those shapes and try and disguise them so that people didn't sit and look at it and go, oh yes, there's a beach ball. It didn't always work. Sometimes we got it wrong. There is one thing that haunts me, and that's a lemon squeezer, which was stuck on the back of Thunderbird 1's set.
In special effects, fire and water are known as two of the most difficult elements to work with, as they cannot be scaled down convincingly. However, high-speed photography provided the solution. Conventional film is exposed at a rate of 24 frames per second. By shooting the same action across a higher number of frames and then playing the footage back at the standard 24 frames per second, any motion is slowed down.
You can see here, this is a shot which uses a combination of plastic kits to look like an oil refinery, and we would have buried in amongst all this stuff little explosive charges and slightly bigger explosive charges and even bigger explosive charges to make the whole refinery blow up, which would be done with a series of hits one after the other, camera running at high speed, and focus from as close to the camera lens as we could get to the backing to make it all look like reality. So if you're ready, boys, we can blow it up.